Hello and welcome to the Lone Star Varsity Coaches Show. I'm Phil Torino. This evening we're joined by Slayton coach Sam Robinson. And Sam, we were hoping you could update us really quickly on the progress of Xavier Ramirez. This is obviously one of the biggest stories, on the South Plains the past 2 weeks. The medical progress of this young man since he was taken, to Houston by Aerotransport to sort of help him recover from, a cardiac condition. Can you just bring us up to speed on his progress?
Xavier's doing great. He had an 8-hour open heart surgery Friday. Got out of intensive care mid-Saturday or Sunday, put him in a regular room. He's actually out of the hospital now. They've kind of got a place for them to stay. They got to stay in Houston for another week or so just for some follow-up appointments. Right. And, probably keep him away from people a lot just with whole condition, germs, things like that. But he's doing good. Talked to his mom actually on the way home from practice tonight, and they have him up, walking around. They've told him with the reconstruction, that's essentially what they had to do, reconstruct an artery, that he'll be really 100% normal, that he'd really have no limitations. And I just kind of they're talking about playing baseball this year. He's a really good baseball player as well. And they think he'll be able to play. And, I'm just kind of said, y'all even football? And she said, according to the doctors, he'll be able to play if he wants to. And, of course, he's all in right now. That's a long ways off. That's a scary deal. But supposedly it's going to be a really good recovery and, be a normal, happy life, hopefully.
What's been your impression of the support, I guess, both kind of, emotional and then the financial support from a lot of the outstanding communities? Because this is the intersection, right, of, I guess, sports and life that you hear about a lot. You'll see a lot of, ESPN will cover stories like this, and then I suppose when they happen here, it's kind of different.
Oh, it's been unbelievable. I mean, more than I ever thought. First of all, you never think you're going to be in that situation, and then, to sit there and watch it play out. I mean, it scared the dog out of all of us, and then, just immediately starting Saturday mornings as word spread a little bit. I mean, people immediately calling, well, what can we do to help? How, first of all, they want to know how he is, but what can we do? What's his family going to need? What can we do for y'all as coaches? I know y'all are shooken up. What can we do for your team? And, there's just going to be some huge expenses. He'll be going to Houston forever, They said he'll have to go back at least once a year, every year for 20, 30 years. And just his mom's single mom and works hard. So, man, immediately the money started pouring in, people passing the hats at their football game. I mean, almost every community around has done it. Brownfield, maybe above and beyond, is really, they were affected by it too. I mean, those kids were shooken up. You could see it on the sideline, and they got to watch it play out too. And so they were really shooken up, and man, they've pitched in. They came out, Coach Welps and Mr. Coronado, their high school principal, came out to Slayton the game last night, presented us with a big check. So it's man, we're so appreciative. Xavier's so appreciative, but we're blown away.
Well, thank you for the update for that. I know everyone was definitely curious to hear about his progress, so we appreciate that. We're going to get right into some highlights from your win over Kermit. Just to set the table for the audience here, Slayton is back in the postseason. We'll play Denver City Friday in a contest that's going to determine third and fourth place. Now, in this contest here, we'll start with your first drive there. You force a punt, and your offense sort of gets to it right away.
Oh, yes, sir. We've had a little trouble getting off the field on third down. Our defense has. We've gotten people to third down, but we hadn't been able to get off the field. We had a big, almost a goal line stand. It's 3rd and 1 in their own territory. You had to get them stopped. We got the punt, and then the first offensive play, we kind of mess up a blocking assignment, but our quarterback Ryan Zakor is able to scramble out and hit Tristan Robinson on about a 70-yard pass. And, man, that just kind of caught us on fire. I think emotionally it's going to be an emotionally charged game, but we didn't know really which way it was going to go. But it just really set the tone. 3 and out, 1 offensive possession, 1 play, and we score. So it started out great.
So you have those 2 back-to-back plays, a tackle for a loss there, and then also Tristan Robinson's long reception. Now we get into something with Ezreal Williams, who had quite the game as well.
Right. Well, when we gave the ball back to them, they were able to go on a really long drive, about 3 or 4 minute drive, and score and actually tie it up. And so again, we're sitting there. What are we going to do? Well, our second possession, on the second play of our second possession, Ezreal, we have a little wildcat package, Ezreal Williams.
Okay.
Ran a zone read, went 70 yards, 73 yards, I think, for another touchdown. So here we go, 3 plays, 2 touchdowns, long touchdowns. So, man, it really just kept us fired up emotionally.
And something we're going to see in a moment as well, another big reception by Carlos Garcia. So this is something that you guys were going back to pretty often with this read pass option, right? You were working that in your game plan?
Yes, sir. You know, Kermit's really aggressive on runs. I mean, their linebackers, any tip of run, they were bringing it, probably burying themselves too much. So we knew we were going to have to try to pass it right over the top of them, right behind the linebackers, underneath their secondary. And, you know, it's a game plan we used a little bit against post because they're the same way. They're really aggressive run on run. So, you know, we hit Carlos on this 22-yard pass, and we hit that same play going both ways to Dez and Carlos, you know, probably 6 or 7 times that night. And it really slowed down their linebackers a lot. Had you seen coming into this game on film that the Kermit front, the defensive front, was willing to come up quick like that? Had they shown that? Oh, yes, sir. They you know, their front four are really aggressive, and then their 2 linebackers, I mean, like I said, just any hint of running, they were screaming up. So, the final play here is quite the reception from Ezreal Williams. Once again, this sort of sets you up to have a pretty big halftime lead, and it was on a 4th down as well. Right, I think, you know, 4th down, and we've been playing pretty good, but Kermit had kind of scored, I think it's 28-14, and they'd kind of climbed back in the game a little bit and had maybe just a little bit of touch on the motion. They got us to 4th down. I think if they could have kept us out there, it probably would have helped them out a lot. And, you know, Ryan threw it, and we almost thought he overthrew it, and Ezreal just, I mean, he stretched out about as far as it go, fingertip catch. It was a great catch. And then, you know, once again, man, our kids fed off of it. We actually just want to finish up with a few remarks about the game that Braxton Kreger had, because I remember when I got, I forgot which Coach Medley might have been that sent me the stats. I looked at what Kreger had, and it was quite the performance. He was in the ballpark of like 14 tackles with 3 sacks. Yes, Braxton Kreger's our weak side defensive end, and you know the last 3 or 4 games, Braxton's was playing really, really tough football, and you know, Kermit was having quite a bit of success running the football on us. They have a big running back, number 40, and I don't know, man. Braxton just flipped a switch, and he stuck him a couple of times. I mean, really hit that guy pretty hard, and man, he just kept getting more fired up. We moved him inside, you know, actually where Xavier plays, we moved him inside, you know, about 3rd quarter a little bit. Okay. And because, again, defensively, we were struggling just stopping the interior run, and we moved him inside. I mean, that pretty much finished it for them. They couldn't move the ball. They didn't move the ball much after that at all. So, before we let you go this evening, how are your kids handling knowing that they're going to be back in the postseason? You know, they were excited. We've had a lot of adversity all year. You know, it kind of culminated at Brownfield, but we've had a lot of injuries all year. Some of them little, and they'd be gone a week or 2. But, you know, the last few years it's kind of been that way. For the last playoff spot was with Kermit. But, you know, last year they got us at our place. And you know, our seniors, we have a great senior class. They really want to get into playoffs. You know, we just feel like it sets the tone for the whole year. And, you know, we hope we're not done. Denver City, big game, and you know, it's going to be pretty beneficial. We think to get 3rd place in terms of the playoff draw. And so, you know, we feel like we match up well with them, and we're going to give it a rip. That's Slayton coach Sam Robinson. I'm Phil Torino, and once again, we appreciate the time very much. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for having us. Most definitely. Thank you very much once again for watching the Lone Star Varsity Coaches Show.